Krishna. So let's see what will be. But we do want to encourage the devotees and be with devotees. And this is an interesting time because you see how many devotees do come together regularly and with the Zoom, with the association, and it may be not 24 hours a day and for 3 weeks or a month or something on parikrama. I know it's a different environment, but this environment is something akin to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's mood for the collection for the Gaudiya Mat. And he had a program which wasn't a life member program, but something by whatever name it was, if it had a name, a donation program where the brahmacharis, they'd be going out and they would collect donations, but they would get pledges also, that they'll get a donation today, and then each month that somebody will give a donation. But each month, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wanted that the devotees will go to collect that donation. Not that they just put a check in the post or something like that, or just drop it in a box, it's in a donation box at the temple, but that somebody will go there, give some association for a few minutes, give some Harikatha, collect the donation. So this way, the donors, they are getting association regularly, again and again, once a month. So this Zoom is a little bit of that idea, not just this Zoom, but the Zoom facility is a little bit of that idea where we can come together we can come together twice a week, we can come together as often as we like. And maybe we're not coming collecting donation, we're collecting donations of the heart between each other, but some association together, reminding ourselves of what we're doing and introducing newcomers to what we're doing too. So anyhow, everything needs to be done in a positive way, and nothing is ruled out. We just have to get the tick mark from Gurudev by reading the environment and by reading our answer, reading Gurudev's answer to our questions, but reading it in an honest way, not trying to do something that we want to do. Whether it's we want to go on parikrama or whether it's we don't want to go on parikrama. We don't have any want or not want. It's just we want to know what we're meant to do. And this was our luxury with having Gurudev with us, with having Guru Maharaj with us. We can ask directly, do we or don't we? So now we can still ask directly. They can answer directly, but our ears have to be open to properly hear the answer. Make ourselves a good receiver. Put all those transistors, diodes, and whatever other things make up a radio in the right place inside our body. And then we'll be able to tune in to Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and Saraswati Thakur. How about all the Sampradaya, as we heard in our quote, I'm sure we gave last week, about just behind the door of in our heart, not in a distant place, but we need to open the door of our heart, and we will find just behind there is our Gurudev and his Gurudev and the whole parampara headed by Rupa Goswami, waiting right there with a spoonful of nectar. Hare Krishna. Well, there we go. We better have an invocation, seeing as you got me talking straight away, and let that invocation be to each other, to Guru and to Mahaprabhu. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratiche Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And last but not least, because I missed it out, Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvijay Namaha. Govinda Govinda. And in the presence of exalted company, we have Gaura Nataraj Prabhu with us, Nirupama Jivana Jivana Devi Rasi Dana Jai Prabhu, Jaya Devu Radha Sundari Dana with us, and Chintamani Chinmoy Dev Prabhu Seva Rupa Devi Rasi Paneshwari, and last but not least Paramananda. If we can have a last but not least Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can have a last but not least Paramananda Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And Anukul Chandra Prabhu and Madhava Michael Thompson with us on Facebook that I know of. And welcome to you all. So, Govinda Govinda. What would you like me to say? Krishna Krishna. I have a question. Dana, do I have your, or would you like me to have your either WhatsApp or whatever contact, WhatsApp or Skype contact? Because I can ask, you can pop it in the chat, in a chat, in a private chat if you like, if you want to keep it private.
Thank you very much. I will do that.
All right. And we are here together. So I think let us today ask first to Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, because Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, he's watching, processing, he's involved with hearing and sharing the talks of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, both are there. So let us come to Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, share something from this week. Kindly, this is our request in the back to basics theme.
Well, Maharaj, I actually have a kind of a topic, maybe question, and it has to deal with faith and how we can kind of maintain it, because there's a lot of, it seems like that Maya wants to attack our faith. And so many things come in our lives that may challenge our faith. So yeah, that would just be like the topic of something we can discuss about like how to maintain our faith when Maya seems to want to attack it so much.
Okay.
And also, like we see like certain maybe devotees activities or certain activities in the mission, and that can really, or other missions, and that can really also be challenging for us to accept it.
Okay, sure. So we can, first of all, just give me about 8 seconds. So I got something safely.
Be patient, Chinmoy.
Okay, that's 8 seconds, I think. I didn't count them. All right. So here we are. And so, yes, and we do need to protect our faith. And whatever faith we have to guard it. Whatever faith we have, we want to build on it. But you're asking for the practical things, which is a practical question for back to basics. And really, first of all, our faith in Mahaprabhu, our faith in Bhagavad Gita, that it's all not manufactured, that it's all, things like this, I hope is solid. This kind of faith, we hope, is solid. And our parampara faith is solid. Our faith in what is taking place, that we may think, okay, this isn't right, that isn't right. And we have a right to think various things. But we will always be faithful to see what is Guru Maharaj's gold standard. What is the gold standard of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada? This is our absolute gold standard right now. And then we pray that we would never lose faith that, yes, that is that's 100%, that is the right thing. We know we've got this shelter where we don't have to like think, oh, is that right that what Guru Maharaj said? Is that right what Gurudev said? And I hope all of our family of devotees that they will be like 100% what we hear from them, then it is correct. And it may be that there's an incorrect, this isn't referring to you, Chinmoy, because now you're going to, oh no, it's meaning me. It does happen that there are some incorrect transcripts, but I wasn't thinking of anything that you're doing there. Really, I wasn't. It's not a hidden dig or something. There may be incorrect transcripts. There may be some incorrect, oh, I heard and I told. That's always there. But we all have that faith that what Guru Maharaj gave, Srila Prabhupada gave, and Gurudev gave, what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta gave, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, etc., that it is 100% perfect. If this faith starts to be harmed, we must really pull ourselves together and think, oh my goodness, what's happening? Because we need to pray that we, number one, don't lose our faith. And number two, that we will not be sucked in, drawn in by Maya, by illusion. These two things, as long as we live in the material world, we need to be cautious about these. And in person, this is one of these things when Paramananda Prabhu and myself were sitting with Goswami Maharaj. This is now 3 years ago, because the clock ticks, maybe 2 years, but 3 years ago. And Goswami Maharaj was quoting from the scripture and saying about this, as long as we live in this mundane world, everybody will be, and there's some quote, we must be prayerful and fearful that we will lose our faith in Guru and Gauranga, number one, and number two, that we will be submerged by Maya, that we'll be caught by Maya, that everything will get covered over by illusion. So these two things we'll be careful of. So then, as your question is, what's the practical thing? And I can say that we say, oh, don't listen to mundane topics, don't mix with mundane people. But you see that we must also be careful where we associate within the topics of the devotees. So we want to really keep the gold standard of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, of our Guru Varga, we need to keep that gold standard, and then be careful about our association, because very subtly all kinds of things can enter in. And in this age, we know that the internet is full of everything. It's like going down a shopping street. You've all got all kinds of shops. You've got shops with, things you need, the food, that and the other, but you've got shops of all sorts of stuff, which, I mean, you and I, hopefully, we wouldn't, go into. Here, they even have an Indian shop. You know what's in the Indian shop? Like and so I went in the Indian shop. And what's in the Indian shop? There's one shelf of a few minor spices from India. And what's on all the other shelves? It's a liquor shop. It's just every kind of hard liquor, soft thing, but it's called Indian shop, so go in wearing your sannyas cloth and come out with something under the cover here. But if you know what's there, we wouldn't go into shops like that. And so on the internet, it's a dangerous place, because there are all kinds of shops which have got things which are going to draw you in, like that Indian shop. Okay, what's in the Indian shop? And then you think, oh yeah, that looks like a nice wine. I didn't think that, but I mean, I'm just saying that this is what's happening. In the name of spiritual life, we can get all sorts of things when we go inside that shop of the internet. And one thing is that we all know about news. It's kind of clear. You click on CNN, ABC, 1, 2, 3, the news, whatever news thing you want to click on. you know it's going to be just negative things. That's the theme of it. And then maybe there'll be one positive thing. Oh, today, the Queen had a baby or something, the princess was born. Okay, that took up 10 seconds, but the other 14 minutes and 50 seconds was taken up with garbage. So that's pretty clear, but it's not so clear when you come into the spiritual side, the devotional side. So once we know safe places to go, we'll go there. We'll go to the safe places. We'll see where our heart gives a tick. It's not that you throw out the baby with the bathwater. You throw out the bathwater, keep the baby, just to make it clear. Anyone doesn't understand. So you keep the baby. What's that in this context? We need to know where we can go to get what our heart is giving a tick mark for our devotional nourishment, and where we're not going to get anything slipped in there which is going to be damaging to our faith, to Guru, Gauranga, etc. So we don't want to enter any controversy. We want to follow, believe it or not, humility, tolerance, giving honor to others and not wanting honor for ourselves. But practically the most damaging thing I see for the devotees and their faith is roaming around without focus on the internet. And means Facebook, of which you've also warned to us, like a very dirty place. There's all sorts of things going on there. If we are in a room, we don't want to hear discussion of anything other than direct Harikatha. And we'll politely, as politely as we can, we'll exit from such company. Let them talk what they're going to talk. And we can't change anybody. We know we can't change anybody. And it's really, that's Gurudev's lesson, to change ourselves. So we will be careful, and then as carefully as possible, we'll tread the minefield of this material world to try to keep ourselves protected from anything negative. And we came from, drama time, really drama time in ISKCON. And why we have to see repetition of it again. If anybody asks us, we try to give some good advice how to avoid such things. What was Guru Maharaj's advice then? It's not for just one time during the century. His advice is the standing advice for all Vaishnavas to come. So let us focus there. And I can say I have more good things to hear and read that come up week by week than I have time to hear and read them. So I don't, with the other services that go on, because we do things in the world. So it's not that, that we have extra time. It's almost if we are going to go and read the mundane news about this, that, and the other, read the devotees' gossip about this, that, and the other, it's almost like we've taken time away from what we should be hearing and sharing and reading about, the things that we know are right, the clean things and the savor, etc. So, as a practical thing, be very careful about where we go, which shops on the highway we go to, and which, groups of devotees that we see sitting around that we will go to hear. Are we hearing Krishna consciousness or not? And we pray to have always somewhere in the world where we can have some trust in what we hear. To be suspicious about everything, but another thing is to guard ourselves from hearing things which are damaging to faith. And we must be sensitive about everybody's faith. There are devotees they're devotees of different gurus, etc. But we must understand what Guru Maharaj, Gurudev have taught us about what is guru, what is disciple. We must always nourish the faith of every devotee. And so we must avoid anywhere where that is in danger, where there is a danger of people saying things, and very difficult circumstance. So avoid all gossip, keep our heads where we've already got a tick mark. Those who maybe we have some understanding, okay, probably they know where to go, ask. So where is a safe place to go to keep my head high? And devotees, there's a devotee I can think of right now immediately on my head. He heard something about Gurudev. No, he heard something about Gurudev. How many years ago now? Okay, must be, okay, 2020. So 24 years ago, I think, 24 years ago, in a conversation, which was kind of a conversation, somebody said something wrong. I mean, it's just like snide kind of thing. Now, 24 years later, he still feels damaged by that and still kind of needs medical attention. If you, I mean, medical, I don't mean in the physical sense, but you know how if somebody has a road accident, and there are people who, I mean, many people had a road accident, you know, 24 years ago, they still need a little attention to relieve the pain. So this kind of thing, 24 years later, still, you know, hurt by that. And we've heard some things, but thankfully, you know, protected along the way. We hear things, and then by that protection, we've been something saved. But this is very damaging to hear any criticism of Guru, or like just a small remark gets slipped in, and then it's very difficult. So we want to avoid all of those things. So the social media is a dangerous place. It's a place to go to and say, oh, you're on social media. Yes, I am on social media, but by the way, I don't read any messages on social media. I'm very sorry. but others do, so that they just let me know if there's something important. But I don't cruise it at all, because I've been warned by Chinmoy Dev Prabhu and others that it's a dirty place. So why will we go to a dirty place? So we'll go to the clean places. And amongst the dirt, again, say baby in the bathwater, we can go to those places. We can listen to Sri Leka's daily class on Chaitanya Charitamrita and reading. And we can go to those places, clean and sweet. Govinda, Govinda. So the same with our reading. Why read, yogi, this, that, and the other, with his big hair, long beard, and, history of, austerities, penances, fasting, you know what he did, and this, that, and the other. Great, very good. He may be a perfect everything, but if we hear from him, we'll be only thinking about what did Guru Maharaj say? Does that fit in with our line? So why go to such places? We'll give honor to everybody, and they think they're doing the right thing. If we meet yogi such and such, it happens to be we're sitting beside each other on a train in India, and we're definitely going to have to talk. Then we'll try to give our Guru's understanding, and if they recognize or resonate with that, then we can think, okay, this is hopeful, but we're not going to get into some conversation with them, which is, that they have no regard for first of all, God, that usually that it's some impersonal idea, but then they have no regard for Mahaprabhu, etc., etc. But we can give some introduction to such persons, but then books, and I may have mentioned this before, I needed to get a visa one time with a very extremely sweet devotee, Anakadundabi Prabhu, such a gentleman devotee, and he had some good contacts. So for the service, everything we went, but he mixed in a circle of artists and authors. people who write authors, people who write books, right? And so, then I'm being introduced to these people. And then this is a famous author, he wrote this, and we're meeting and talking together. And my goodness, I didn't want to talk with him for more than like 3 minutes. What to speak of read his book. But then, he's published a book and it's got some hype and it's obviously got something in there. And we met in California also, somebody who is writing this book, and he's writing a book and he's already written 2 books. Really, he had no idea what is what from the conception of our masters. But you write a book and it all makes sense to some degree, but not in our line. Then it's just a waste of time, really. I know Bhaktivinoda Thakur said a bad path can be improved. I know, but it's dangerous for us. And especially when we've already come to the improved path, when we found the freeway, why will we go wandering in a path in the jungle, which we'll have to improve to get out back to the freeway again? And while in the jungle, there happen to be dangerous animals in the jungle. So, Chinmay Devu, you got me talking all these things so early in the morning.
Maharaj, please check the chat.
Check the chat. A poet, you see, one of the qualities of Vaishnavas is that they are poetic. Oh my goodness. That's a big chat. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, no? Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda, Dev Goswami Maharaj, reveal truth, surrender. Okay, I've been talking too much. Please, somebody will read for us.
Chinmoy can read it because it's about faith.
This is action and reaction. You asked me to speak, now you're being asked to speak. But your microphone's off, you do know that, yes?
Yes, okay, so from Revealed Truth, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Samaraj, faith is our main property. We should never lose our faith. Our faith must also grow. It must become stronger and stronger until it reaches an unshakable position. Our faith must be transcendental, sincere, and chaste. You cannot throw a rocket from anywhere. You must have a substantial foundation. When your faith becomes unshakable and you understand the fundamental position of surrender and devotion to Krishna, then you will be worry-free. And Sharanagati, your mood of surrender, will protect you. You have an unshakable launching pad, and from there you will be able to throw your rocket across the illusionary environment to Goloka Vrindavan. The spiritual world exists entirely within the plane of faith, and anyone whose faith is very strong will get that highest property when his faith takes on a transcendental form and is successfully activated in his heart. Everything will be revealed to him. And then there's a shloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Faithful persons are qualified for devotion. According to the strength of their faith, they're either advanced devotees, intermediate devotees, or neophyte devotees.
Jai. And of course, the very dangerous things are to enter into the realm of criticism. We also, again, we've got our perfect example of Gurudev. He's always trying to look to see why somebody why 2 people are enemies, for instance, but he's not going into the criticism line. He's going into the understanding why something has happened. He'd look behind that. He'd look and see why. So we must always try to see why somebody is thinking something. What is the cause? What's made them think in an unusual way? And Gurudev was very broad with that. And you saw that some of his, who were faithful servitors, and then, strange things happened, you can say, in their attitude. And Gurudev thinking why this is happening. And so we must be careful to try to protect others from aparad, because at the end of the day, this aparad is coming into the into the equation. Aparad, Vaishnava aparad, but offense, it is coming to be harmful to our faith, and Vaishnava aparad can uproot the faith when it's actual, like a solid Vaishnava aparad. But again, Guru Maharaj comes to our rescue in there also. Is that it's not so easy to commit Vaishnava aparad because Vaishnavas don't take offense. But that, then, then that can open up, oh, and, I'm going to blast that guy, I'm going to blast that devotee. And then, oh, no, it's not Vaishnava aparad. Guru Maharaj said it's not easy. That doesn't mean that we become reckless. It's Guru Maharaj again explaining to us. We've got to understand Vaishnavism, Vishnu, Vaishnava, etc. And don't forget, others have different opinions. They think that that is right. I may feel, I know it is not right, but one of our devotees has a phrase which I think is credited to somebody famous, but devotees are always famous, which is that a man convinced against his own will is of the same opinion still. A person convinced against his will, in other words, no, this, but he's not really convinced, he's just like showing his conviction. He's still of the same opinion, but he just says, okay, yes, you're right. But still walks away with the same opinion that he had before. So we have to also understand that others may consider, oh, this is best, this is right. And we may be very clear that it's not right. But what can we do? We have to say, okay, we cannot change, we can explain something, but we cannot change anybody. Then we have to say, in the world, everyone can have different opinions. And they may be right, and it's me who's wrong. Or still, it may be that we know something, we feel we know something by the grace of gurus, but we can't do anything. Then finally we have to think, okay, it's the will of the Lord, it's going in this direction. Hare Krishna, Srila Bhakti Rakha Krira Devasam. So Praneshri Didi just has put in the box also another, it's a little shorter, from Centenary Anthology, which we are reading now, by the way, in Vilagovinda Ashram. And again, so many treasures. And actually reading for the first time ever for all of the long list of Italian speaking devotees on our Back to Basics. There may be some who are reading the Back to Basics in the recorded way. And by the way, Ananta Govinda Prabhu joined us, Sevarupa Didi in Mexico joined us, and Mathura Basini Didi joined us also in the meantime, as well as Anukul Chandru and Madhava on my Facebook that I see on Facebook. You see, Facebook we are using. They joined us too. But for the very first time in Italian, then this Centenary Anthology is being read in the mornings here by Krishna Kanta. And she and Praneshwari, they are both extremely gifted for being able to immediately present in their own language, Praneshwari Spanish and Krishna Kanta Devirasi here in Italian, to immediately present in their own language what's given by our gurus, what's given in black and white. Or when hearing, in your case, Praneshwari, she's hearing and immediately speaking. I hear the Spanish translation, for not all of it, but for a period each time, just to make sure it's coming through well. And Krishna Kanta, she's reading the book in English, and you cannot tell hardly that she's translating it at the same time. Completely flowing. So just, you see, positive and progressive. All the time, devotees are producing new things until today. So let us see what Guru Maharaj, Srila Sri Ramakrishna has to say. If we have full faith in our Gurudev and are fully surrendered, if we have full faith in our Gurudev and are fully surrendered to our Gurudev, We must get transcendental strength. And in that way, we can remove all illusion by his grace. So it is necessary to have strong faith in Gurudev and to surrender fully to his divine lotus feet. Then we shall get everything. We can appeal today to the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj for that kind of strength. We can appeal today to the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj for that kind of strength. We are fallen souls and very conditioned souls trying to proceed to our destination. But we cannot proceed properly because we are all within the illusory environment. By his mercy, we can proceed, but the destination is so far from us. So may he mercifully bestow more and more mercy upon us. This is my prayer on this day to Srila Guru Maharaj and to his dear associates and to all of you. Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Wonderful. And do we know the date of that? Is that given there, Pranashri, at the top of the title?
I'm scrolling back, Maharaj. It doesn't have a date. It's in the introduction. A Shri Vyasapuja address by Srila Gurudev in the book of Srila Guru Maharaj. So these were not the words by Srila Guru Maharaj. It's Srila Gurudev.
Okay. Okay.
I thought it was Srila Guru Maharaj talking about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but it's Gurudev to Srila Guru Maharaj.
Okay, yes. Yeah, right, that happened. I think it's 1989. It's quite possible. Anyhow, let us think. Why I was asking that was, I think that Gurudev is giving this talk after Guru Maharaj's disappearance. It's not a talk like Vyasa Puja while he's present, is my feeling, because Gurudev is always telling, when Guru Maharaj has disappeared, we must all pray to Guru Maharaj. Like in the present, Guru Maharaj is still with us. And that's why I asked, like, what date? Because this is applicable now. Guru Maharaj is present. Gurudev is present. And how? We see through the eyes of Gurudev, of Govinda Maharaj, as like our perfect example of how he's always seeing Guru Maharaj is present. And he would certainly say, long after Guru Maharaj, in fact, forever after Guru Maharaj disappeared, he would certainly say, we must pray to Guru Maharaj for this understanding. We must pray to Guru Maharaj, like here, for his mercy. We must pray to Guru Maharaj. Always Gurudev is saying like this. In the present tense, that Guru Maharaj is still with us. He's still hearing us, everything like that. And so in this way also, here we've got our gold standard example always. It is not that, oh, that's all gone past. We've got nowhere to go to make our petition. Even in that, like most exalted level, Guru Maharaj is present and Gurudev is present. We must try to take their shelter as much as possible. I mean, not only as much as possible. Well, yes, as much as possible. We should try to take their shelter as much as possible and more. There we are. And chant Hare Krishna 25 hours a day. And I'm not sure how to increase or make more emphasis of humility, tolerance, giving honor to others and not wanting it for ourselves. I think if there's a way, Mahaprabhu would have given it. We can say chant Hare Krishna 25 hours a day, kind of makes it sure that we're going to get to 24. But how we will have full humility, full tolerance, full giving honor to others, and full not wanting honor for ourselves. And look, we got quite a gathering in Paramananda Prabhu's Govinda farm. My goodness, look, everybody in Govinda farm. Hare Krishna. Dandava. The rest of us are one by one around the world, I think. But Govinda farm, we're at a gathering. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. I've been talking too much. Paramananda Prabhu. Paramananda Prabhu, he's a sloka person. And he's not only a sloka person, so he's a devotee with the slokas. And actually, just yesterday itself, then anyway, couple of things happened. Oh, Seva Reddy will say yesterday that in our Italian Zoom in the evening, and then Krishna Kanta, she spoke something in Italian, answering a question, but I didn't follow it. I was just thinking what would be my answer to the question which came. And so then she spoke in Italian, not with any translation. And she said, oh, now you say something. And then I said more or less exactly what she just said, but in English. And then Krishna Kanta, she like smiling, raised her hand. She said, same guru, two devotees, same guru, the same answer. So Paramananda will give the same answer, but maybe some different way, but in this way. So let us hear from Paramananda and with some slokas. If you like to add some slokas, you can add some slokas.
I've been listening to you and actually remembering whatever you're saying. We've been continuously hearing in the scriptures from our Guru Varga, from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Rup Sanatan, all the Goswamis of Vrindavan, Saraswati Thakur, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev Prabhupada. Really, it's so beautiful. And if you want shloka, there is one. It's from the song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Kali Kukura Mudgara Bhavadaram, Harinama Mahoshadha Dana Param. Jaja Gramya Katha Sakalam Bikalam Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that Mahaprabhu came wielding the stick of holy name, wielding a stick to punish the dog of Kali. And what is the weapon? The holy name, the Harinam Sankirtan. The biggest gift that one can give to anyone. So please give up all the useless talks, gossips, criticism, whatever there is in the world, and fully submerge yourself in chanting the holy names of the Lord. And just worship the moon of the Godruma. Something like that, something along those lines. Really, they're all beautiful messages and we need constant reminder. And I was listening to affectionate guidance of Govinda Maharaj this morning. Once you start, you really cannot stop. And about necessity, you have to something else to do and somebody is disturbing. So coming asking for something, then you have to stop. But really, it's impossible to stop. And we're feeling that shelter of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev in our daily life. Like you said, after Guru Maharaj disappeared, Srila Govinda Maharaj would address him and actually forward us to him for help, like if he is still present. And I've been in these situations many times when I'm perplexed, I don't know what to do, and asking Govinda Maharaj. And seemingly he is not giving me full answer, but I'm pushing and I'm saying, Maharaj, but I don't understand. Like, how can I understand? And he would always smile and say, Guru Maharaj will help you. Like Guru Maharaj is always present with us. And I said, what do you mean, Gurudev? He said, he is giving you everything. He is giving us everything. Just listen to him, he said. So it's all in instructions. And Maharaj said, we have so much, like Saraswati Thakur, he's pointing out, the only deficiency of this world is Krishna Katha. Everything else is more than enough for us. But we are so fortunate. We don't have that deficiency. But the problem is taking things for granted. Really, we don't have that deficiency. Like you were just saying, you have more than you can listen or hear. You listen to, read or hear to, in more than more than you can do in your lifetime, because we do have some other engagements, seva engagements. And another thing, it's a good point, Maharaj, to differentiate between seva and something else. And I don't want to repeat what something else is, but like you were mentioning, things that are not necessary. And it is also, belongs to the Gramya Katha section. Gramya Katha is not just talking or being engaged in talking or listening, but also doing things that are absolutely useless, absorbing yourself and hearing that is absolutely useless, have nothing to do with devotion. And repeatedly it's pointed out. And another shloka, Maharaj, just to give you some satisfaction, and this shloka is in Prapanna Jivanamritam, selected by Srila Guru Maharaj, and really a good advice to us all, and it's by one of the great kings, devotees of South India, Maharaj Kulashekar Maharaj. Krishna tadiya pada pankaja panjarantam adhyayavame vishatamana suraja hamsa prana prayana samaye kapavata pita kantava rodhana vidhos maranam kutaste. And good advice, giving more than 1,000 years ago, and timeless advice. Do it now before it's too late. I can just paraphrase it. Absorb your mind in thoughts of Krishna right now. Make it Raja Hamsa, not a crow, but Raja Hamsa. This is the goal. This is what Kulashekar Maharaj is telling us. Do it now when you're still young, when you still have some power, when you're still able to actually say out Krishna's name, hear Krishna's name, have some chance to associate with the devotees of Krishna. So do it immediately, do not delay, because when the death will come and you will be on a deathbed, there is no guarantees you will be able to hear or say anything. And what will be your surrounding? No one knows. So Kulashekar, in a beautiful poetic form, he is giving that comparison of Raja Hamsa, the beautiful swan of my mind. Let it dive and entangle itself in the lotus-like stems of narrations of Krishna, his pastimes, his glories. I will conclude here, Maharaj, but we do have a wonderful gathering here, and I will just minimize myself as much as possible, and you guys come up a little bit higher. And they are a great source of inspiration, really. I'm just observing how they're serving, trying to satisfy their spiritual master. It's extremely inspiring for me, and I want to continue to try to become a devotee just by observing how they are serving to their guru. So let's listen and something from them, Maharaj. And you can pick anyone.
Oh, no, I'm not picking. I'm waiting for a volunteer to step forward, and I think Ramasundar is a natural volunteer.
Well, I can't talk so extensively, but I can say one thing I've been thinking about that Guru Maharaj said. And, you know, it's quite a, I know how, like a firm, heavy statement, but he says that giving is divine and anything else is basically satanic. So I've been thinking about that a lot because, I mean, everything's captured in giving, so you're not missing out on anything when you're giving, and then everything else is trash basically, so you're just missing out.
We're all meditating on that. Giving is divine and anything else is satanic.
Who said that? Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Govinda Govinda.
So, I mean, I'm just aspiring after that. I can't say that I feel that, but hopefully one day by the mercy of the devotees.
We are meant to be givers, and givers to Krishna with love, not also even pure giving of the formal rules, regulations, and veneration, and those natural feelings which happen in Vaikuntha, that is fully pure. And if ever you've met in your life, your young life, even though you think you're very old, your young life, if you've ever met any actual kind of person like a princely prince or somebody like important in the world, managing director of a company, a billionaire or something, there's some natural thing is inside of us. Oh, oh, what a great personality. Let me get a look at him. Oh, nowadays it's movie stars or something, right? If you see a movie star. I remember seeing the world champion boxer one day on the tube in London. The tube is the metro, the underground. Oh, it wasn't, it's the overground. It doesn't matter anyway. I saw, and everybody, including me, like you could see everyone's head just watching this boxer, and it was, I forget his name now, but for a time, he was the world champion boxer, I think a British man. Anyway, like that, oh, look who's here. That, when it's directed to Narayan, not a world champion boxer, but trying to assimilate some feeling, it's natural. Oh, we're attracted to Narayan, four-armed, majestic, glowing, magnificent, perfect, all good form of Narayan. But beyond that is the whole loving plane of spontaneous service. But all of that is serviceful, it's giving. Nobody in Vaikuntha is exploiting. Everything that they do, it's for Narayan. But more than that is the land of that sweetness and everything which is giving of the heart. And this is where Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, this is where Mahaprabhu, the Gauriya Vaishnavas are taking us to that plane. And anything else is satanic. I'd have to hear that word coming. But anyhow, there's certainly you heard it, okay.
I heard it from Raiki Shori Didi, so she probably has the lecture. Okay,
but this whole idea is certainly the idea which is coming directly. I mean, Guru Maharaj and Gurudev saying that everything else, it is completely wrong. And this is what brings us here. And how Guru Maharaj also saying, we have all betrayed our Lord. We put ourselves at the center. That's why we're in this plane. And by the way, I have a quote, and I'll give you Guru Maharaj's words here. I have a quote which seems very applicable for fighting against the environment. And the quote is,
Maharaj, while you're looking,
yeah,
just as we know, whatever we say must be confirmed by Guru and Shastra, Chinmoy Prabhu just supplied that quote of Guru Maharaj from Divine Inspiration.
Okay.
Whatever Ram Sundar was just quoting.
Okay, and can you read it? Can you read it? Uh-huh.
The most noble thing, okay, you read it. Ram Sundar.
The most noble thing is self-giving. To give this nobleness, to assert, to exploit is satanic, and to surrender for higher things is godly. From Divine Aspiration.
Giant. So you've drawn our attention. You see, there again, we're coming to, let's hear it. It's come from Guru Maharaj. Okay, it's come from Guru Maharaj. You've drawn our attention to that strong statement. Now I'll bring your attention, your plural, everybody's attention, to another strong statement which did come in my mind. Not exactly that, but a strong statement which struck me this week. So it's one of those like fresh things in my mind. Now another one is added that you've just given. And oh, no, I haven't lost it, don't worry. And this is from Guru Maharaj also, Srila Sridhar Maharaj. If we have to fight with the environment, then we waste our energy and we will have to die. Now that's one sentence. Of course, it's one sentence, but it's in the context of we have to harmonize with the environment. If we have any friction or fighting with the environment, we're not allowed in Goloka Vrindavan. We have to be able to adjust to everything with no resistance. So let us begin here. And remember another, like one of these shocking statements, like, okay, but now we've, at the end of our program, we've come to the shocking statements part, right? The other of these shocking statements that I know not only myself, it kind of was very strong, like this expression that Ramaswamy just pointed out, and what I just pointed out that I felt for myself, but also Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saying, we cannot change the course of the environment by one hair's breadth. And then we always think, oh no, we're changing the world, this, that, and the other. The world is going to go on. Kali Yuga will go on. The winter will go on. It's going to, be all those characteristics. All these things are going to take place. But we have to change ourselves. So this is all these messages are coming for us, that we keep our eye on the goal, keep our attention in the solid plane of faith, in the solid guru parampara, the solid scripture. Keep ourselves in a solid plane and avoid anything which is going to be risky to us. And risky means we may make it through, we may not make it through. But let us try to be sensible and safe. And even in the material world, as we get a little older, we become a little more sensible and safe in our decisions of what we do. For instance, I don't ride the bicycle across the narrow footbridge, which I'm sure I would have done a few years ago. But now, and I see others doing it, but I don't do it. I think, okay. Are
you still wearing a helmet, Maharaj?
Oh, this is a public program. Yes. Now, if I'll be on the roads, yes, but not generally when in the forest and mountain, with devotees, or with the headphones, and to get a break from the computer world.
Maharaj, another strong statement came to my mind. That's from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a famous verse that Srila Swami Maharaj likes to quote. Yasyatma buddhim trinaketi yasyatma buddhim trinaheti dhatuke. He's quoting that in the reference of one who is not dedicating himself to Krishna consciousness is no more than a walking corpse. Like there's so many series and movies we hear about the zombies or Walking Dead. Really, and Gurudev liked it a lot, and he quoted that verse as well. He said, no doubt, breathing, walking, talking, but death. So he was also mentioning that.
Mars, I have one more too. Speaking of centenary anthology, it's in the beginning also, Gurudev's Vyas Puja offering, I think. But do you know that one sloka where it's talking about acharyas non-different from Krishna? Yeah. So he's talking about this sloka where it's saying that the guru or acharya is non-different from Krishna. And then he says, so we are fortunate to say that we have got that kind of connection with that kind of guru. And he's saying, but if we do not properly worship Guru Maharaj, his devotees, his conception, then for sure we will be sent to hell.
Hare Krishna, well.
And not to mention Lochan Das Thakur at the end of every of his songs.
So we're ending our back to basics on some very bombastic parts of the Krishna consciousness. Dear newcomer devotees, don't be afraid by these things. They're here to push us to the affectionate world. And they are here to push us to the affectionate world. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are lots of things. But then we hear that every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, every word, every syllable of Bhagavatam is to take us to Radha Dasyam, to Radha Krishna's plane. So we come across all sorts of things in Srimad Bhagavatam, and we do remind ourselves But this has its purpose, its place to take us to that sweetest land. So sometimes we hear quite strong things, but it is all to keep slapping our cheeks, to keep us going in the right direction.
Maharaj, for someone to wake up, it takes a whisper. For someone, a light tap on the shoulder. But someone needs a bucket of water.
Someone needs a bucket of cold, someone needs a bucket of warm water, and someone needs a bucket of cold water.
Ice water.
Ice water. All right. Hare Krishna. Oh, well, look, there we are. Divine aspiration. All right, dear devotees, the world goes on. Oh, Maladhari Devi Rasi also joined us. And Ananta Govinda Prabhu is with us and sending, oh, Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ichutsrija Vidhe Api Kainkaryam Krishna Padaka. What's the last line?
Shayatvam Sharanagati.
Shayatvam Sharanagati. Oh, yes. Okay, little spelling thing. That's why, that's my excuse. Well, there is a spelling mistake. It threw me off. Okay, all is good. And yes, indeed, all of these things are coming to bring us to the plane. Let us come to the plane of real faith. Eyes open faith, as Guru Maharaj also says. There's the expression blind faith, but then there must be also seeing faith. So we are in that plane of seeing faith. When we see, then we can close our eyes. We can take the hand, as it were. All right, dear devotees, appreciate everything, all contributions from everybody, all contributions of the presence of you all, because today I've been very noisy and we've just had a little, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 giving a chat. And here we are. Oh, more and more things coming in the chat box, which I don't have an opportunity really to read right now, because I need to, I was going to say pass away. I'll need to pass away from the screen, and we're all we're on a passing show. And oh, so many things coming in. I'll copy and paste, I'll look a little later. But now we need to keep my voice turning
Maharaj.
a little bit.
The last one is exactly from Srila Guru Maharaj, exactly what you were saying about blind faith.
All right. Perfect,
Yes.
Praneshri. That is so good of you, so efficient of you to catch these as they're being spoken, mentioned, to catch the quotes, the places. All is greatly appreciated. And dear devotees, I'm doing it. I've already copied it all, selected all and copied. I'm going to paste it. I'll see in a short while. And in the meantime, my obeisances to you all, and our big jai is jai to Srila Gurudev, to Srila Guru Maharaj, to Srila Saraswati Thakur, to our Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, to Srila Prabhupada, to all our present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat, Acharya Brinda ki jai, to all of you, to all of the worldwide devotees, Bancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, and appreciating all of your presence and good thoughts, dear devotees. Have a good day, few days in Seva. We'll meet again very soon.